Emails are nuggets, gold nuggets. It's just not how people do it today. They just don't. But what we are seeing is a shift in communications across how people just talk to each other. And we all do that in here, which is texting. So if you're not, how many of you are actively engaged in texting in your store? Yeah, if you're not, especially in service. Sales too. But here's the dilemma, and this is a great conversation to have with an owner, right? How many of you supply your salespeople with some type of smart device? You do?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. So here's things going forward, technology tools. You know, if you don't, they're using their own device to talk to your customer. Tell me how much XML population that is going to CRM. So, you know, we're going through this phase of technology tool shift. And I don't know, do you stock computers on the showroom floor, or do you iPad and iPhones?
It's iPads and iPhones, and then we have our BTC, so we have.
Right, but salespeople are being armed with these tools. And it's not cheap. These are $199. Now, if you buy the 3, you get it for free. But the data plans. So, you know, we have this dilemma today, technologically. How do we, what do we own? What should the tools be for our salespeople? But as this trends right here, I mean, this idea that teenagers text, I think we all know that. And they text a lot. Basically, if you have any teenage children in your household, this is the only way you can talk to them. About 4,000. But what was interesting out of the Nielsen study that we did, other than the mature marketplace, the 65 plus, 50, 45, 54, 3 to 1, 6 to 1, 12 to 1, and all this is going to do is trend. This is people who would listen to, these are car shoppers, would rather receive a text than get a phone call from you. So then I go back and talk to BDCs, and I'm like, oh, what are you doing here? The 2 things you do in a BDC is call me or email me. Guess what people don't want to do? They don't want to talk to you, and they don't want to email you. Now, that doesn't mean you gorilla text people. You ask for permission. All you got to do is ask. I mean, almost all car shoppers today have some type of device that's on a platform, iOS or Android. I will also tell you that 45% of people in America are on range phones. That's the flip phone. That means they're not on a platform. And the main reason is socioeconomic reasons. Because the data plans are so expensive. It's just expensive. But if you watch what's going on, Google spent about $12 billion plus for Motorola's mobile patents here about 2 months ago. Guess who's getting in the phone business? Absolutely. We'll see this shift where we'll see entry-level platform. Like a couple of the lesser mobile companies are offering it $30 a month to enter into the platform business, which is more like a range phone used to be, right? A Virgin Mobile or something like that. But texting. So you've got to start getting involved in texting. And it's the preferred choice of communication today. Very interesting, isn't it? All right, now when we ask customers where they're at when they shop for a car, I'll let that sit in just for a second. This is where they say they're shopping for a car.
They'll actually tell you that they do it in the bathroom.
They did. 38% of them said yes in the restroom. Yeah, there was also a Pew study done in February that said 86% of adults in America use their smart devices while they're in the restroom. So my only advice to you is the next time somebody hands you their smartphone, you may just say, no, you hold on to that. Just say it. But probably the biggest thing we see here is that we do it everywhere. Because we can. You know, that's the biggest piece. Because we can. Confirm text. You know, how many of you confirm appointments via text? That's good because you asked for their smart device. I'll give you another one. So you can write this one down. This is a freebie from me. So I was at Schumacher. This is down in West Palm Beach where I live. And they have two separate campuses, 7 points on each campus. So 14 stores, but they're all 2 of each. And they're running about a 63% show rate to appointment set. Pretty good. Benchmark, I think, is 50 in America, you know, so give or take. And I said, I think that there's a way, or it was an experiment, to see if we can improve that show rate, to get people to show up. And so what we did, because the number 2 search engine in the world is YouTube. The Google study in 2008 said 56% of people watched a video prior to purchase. Their new study they just did last November was 91% of them. And we're not delivering. So we had a huge consumer behavior and no alignment from the dealer world. So I said, let's try it. So we went out and bought flip cameras, and they don't make flips anymore, but you know, the little ones. And then you take the car to make ready, you get it sped, you get it gas, and where do you put it? Right out in front of the store. So we have the salesperson, whoever's in charge of that customer, go out with somebody to film them. Hi, I'm Jack. This is 12 seconds long. That's it. Just wanted to let you know that your car's ready for your 4 o'clock appointment, ready to test drive. It's been completely clean. If it's used, you can say it's been through a 170-point inspection. It could be certified. We look forward to seeing you at 4 o'clock. And send it to their smart device. It's the biggest guilt trip known in the car business. Because what happened is, guaranteed increase, 25% your show rate. It's more than that. You just do it first, then you can figure out the numbers. But this is the puppy dog close today of yesterday. I'm sitting in an office, or I'm sitting in a bar, or I'm wherever I'm at. Could be any of those places I just showed you. And I just got a video in the car I'm going to go see at 4 o'clock. What do you think all my friends know I'm doing? Looking for a car. And if I'm sitting in the office, what am I doing? Hey, check this out. What do you think? What do you think? Everybody wants to make sure they're making the right decision. You may find this interesting that 47% of women will post that video to their Facebook page and ask for an opinion. Butter, soft butter. You can't buy this stuff. And then I go back to phone ups. I'm like, if you want to change a phone up, 9 out of 10 people will, if you say on a phone up, the first thing they always want, especially on a used car, do you have it? That's all they care about. That's why they're calling you. I see it. I'm looking at it on your website, but do you really have it? Because I'm not driving over there if you don't have it. I just don't do that anymore. And so we did an experiment. This is my buddy's in Louisville, and they have a BDC, so they answer the phone. So they do 1,700 calls a month in that BDC, for all 19 stores, by the way. And every customer's offered a video on the car. 93% of consumers said, yeah, I'll send it to my smart device. The engagement factor changes completely. Do you see what so now your car is on their device and they're showing it to everybody. What just happened to the phone up? NADA says only 10% of phone ups are closed in the United States. This will change it to almost 40, because you engage the consumer. That's the big piece here. So little tidbits there for you. This bodes back to app usage versus web usage. We just commissioned a new study, so we're doing this Nielsen Mobile study every year. We haven't published the white paper on it yet. But what we're seeing is the main theme here, and still this year as well, is you just want to make sure that your website is truly uber mobile. If you have microsites, and if you do, you've got to make sure that that URL is directed to MDOT. Most people forget to do that, and especially if you're making an usher page to drive traffic to your own website. So in your Google Analytics, if you're seeing 70 to 80% bounce rates in your mobile page loads, your vendor may not have told you the truth. Because I can tell you right now, if those bounce rates are that high, that means that your site's not truly mobile, or wherever their destination's going to is not. We don't sit here for 20 seconds watching that little white thing turn. We're gone. And that's the reason why when you look at your Google Mobile Analytics, you can make sure those bounce rates are almost nil. And that will tell you. And then I also want you to think about this. So all your email blasts, all your CRM follow-up, are those mobile? If I have to pinch or scroll something to read it, tell me what we do. Tell me what we don't. If it's delivered to me and not in a true MDOT, and I have to do this, and then I have to do this to read the sentence from over here to go over here, I'm out. So you don't think of this, because guess where the majority of this information is being delivered to? They're not sitting behind that computer, it's going to their head. It's going to their smart device. So some things to keep in mind. I was at the family group here in Las Vegas, and they're a pretty big group. Anybody from Las Vegas in here? Because you don't. But from June to June, their mobile traffic increased 1,365% year over year to all their stores here in Las Vegas. That's huge. So the number's growing. He's at 80, you were about 30. So, and we see 30+% of all of our traffic coming to cars.com is coming to a mobile device. It's kind of interesting. When we take out unduplicated traffic, like somebody typing in www.cars.com in a browser, on a mobile device, 44% of them have never been to our wired site. Strong numbers. So, there are people that use apps, but not the majority of them. In the tablet app world, because tablets just started, this is a year old, this tells you how fast this stuff changes, as it would be. So, I'm so happy you're using, do you use a showroom app now? Or do you have apps in your store that they use in the showroom?
Yeah, we have a monthly one, and then we have like our CRM.
Yeah. You can go out and buy apps right now. I'm just telling you, you can hold off for a little bit. Most of your OEMs are going to come out with their own apps, especially a new car. You know, they are. I mean, hand that to somebody and watch what they do in a showroom. It doesn't replace a walk around, doesn't replace a demo. But it's amazing what you can do with it.
Yeah, we use it as in between, wait for F9.
Sure, wait for F9, go and get ACV on the car, comparisons, all kinds of stuff. So you got to align your behavior to it, because you already know this, consumers are using these against you in the store. We don't even compliment. I was in a BMW store in Indianapolis. She knows who I'm talking about. Tom Wood, they're good people too. But we had an up come in. It was a 5-year-old 7 Series, right? A mature man and woman get out of the car, good up. The up got better because the name of the store is on the license plate of the car they were driving, so it's good. It's good. So I told the salesman, I said, after you meet and greet, I said, I want you to pull your iPhone out and say, most of my customers that come in today already have the car downloaded. He's like, no, I'm not going to do that. Look how old they are. I'm like, just do it. Just do it for me. I didn't think he'd do it, but he did. The lady pulls out her iPad and shows him the car they came to see. She's 64 years old. So you'd be amazed at how much these people have this content already with them when they show up. So, all right, what do we track? Everything. Tell me how crazy that is. This is John Eagle Group here in Dallas. This is 2010, 2011. That's 7.5% to almost 24% jump. And in these Google Analytics, he's measuring devices. That's the hard thing about going into the app world, because they're platform-centric. So you build one for an iPhone, you got to build one for Android. And then you still really can't leave out BlackBerry. That gets very expensive. Especially if somebody comes to your store and says, oh, I can build you some nice apps for $1,200. Let me tell you what you get for $1,200. Don't waste your money. I can assure you a good app are well into the thousands of dollars. That doesn't include the iPad either, by the way. The iPad doubles that amount. So that's why I say just wait a little bit. I know it sounds new and shiny, and everybody says there's an app for that. Just because most of the vendors you use, most of them are very, very mobile. I mean, we are. I mean, we started the first mobile website in 2007. That was unheard of. So it's kind of cool. But make sure you're measuring that traffic. Any questions about that? Easy to go into all this, but you guys can see the growth here. And these are the stores. A lot of Honda stores, Toyota stores. So affecting change, we talked about doing the appointment on the app, using the service appointment they're using now. I should put a football in there. So, a couple things you do when you go back to your store that you fill in some of the define your processes and improve. It's not, it's not an SAT test by any means. But, just kind of checks and balances of the things you may do or things you may want to think about doing differently in your store. So hopefully that can help you. Any questions? I mean, I can pretty much talk about anything. Did everybody get at least one nugget? Something they can take back? One nugget? You got a nugget? Did you get a nugget? 2 or 3? You got a couple nuggets?
Nuggets.
Huh?
Nuggets.
Nuggets, good. I like nuggets. I like them plural. See, I'm helping Tawanda decide when she does her recap of this workshop. Should Jack need a lot of nuggets? It's got to be plural. Well, listen, thank you all very much. It's good to see you again. Nice to see you as well. And nice meeting you for the first time. So have a great stay here if you're staying. If you're heading home, safe travels.